Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If Breitling for Bentley isn't your thing, you have to consider this Breitling Montbrillant. 38mm in stainless steel and classically styled, it's a combination of size, proportion, and aesthetics that should appeal to the vintage connoisseurs who love what Breitling has been, but can't always reconcile that enthusiasm with what Breitling is today. You can see and you can own this Breitling Montbrillant Chronograph on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high-resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this Breitling Montbrillant. Now, of course, the Montbrillant in the modern era began as a Navitimer line extension and evolved into its own family of watches, a reference to the original location of Breitling in La Chaux-de-Fonds prior to 1979. The line has always represented in the modern era something of a more elegant, refined, and genteel Navitimer. This watch is certainly that, with an upscale premium sheen and size that has broad appeal, whether you're man, woman, or a vintage traditionalist. 38mm across the round of the case, not including crown or chronograph pushers, makes this a versatile and wearable watch. It's a circular slide rule Breitling that can be worn with a suit. It's also reasonably slim, all things considered. 12.3mm thick. It looks thicker than it is. It will easily clear a suit jacket cuff and probably even a dress sleeve in spite of the somewhat outcropped cantilever profile of the bezel. It's so slim that almost doesn't matter. From lug to lug, it's compact, as the watch measures 44mm from lug to lug should you throw it aviator style on a NATO or a leather strap. But if you do wear it on this Navitimer style bracelet, you'll find that it extends the span to 46mm, still very, very, very wearable across a broad range of wrists. I would say this watch, even on this bracelet, could be worn on a wrist as small as 13 centimeters in circumference. You can see how much the bracelet flares out at the edge of my tiny wrist, so this will easily fit yours. Now, the watch does have a solidity to it, imparted by the substance of the bracelet, which is, as you can see, quite massive aesthetically and in terms of its actual weight relative to the case itself. It almost seems to dwarf the watch, but it adds a lot of value in terms of upscale sheen and durability versus a strap. Now, it features, as you can see, sizing links that are removed with screws, not pins and sleeves. There's a solid, fully finished single-fold deployment clasp that's held shut by a clamshell action. And you'll note that the watch does have solid end links of a sort. Again, that's why it extends out further than the lug-to-lug span if you do wear it on the bracelet. All of high polish, a watch with these dimensions doesn't look garish, overwrought, or flamboyant. It looks elegant in high polish. It wears this gleam and this glint with style and discretion. You'll also note that the watch is very much a Navitimer in style. It has the chronograph layout with the triple registers symmetrically arrayed. It has the circular slide rule bezel. So while it's a little bit richer than typical Navitimer in finish, nevertheless it does have the same heritage and functionality. The circular slide rule bezel originally debuted with the Chronomat in the early 1940s, but a more deluxe version, the definitive version that we know today, debuted with the original Navitimer in 1954, then billed as a circular flight computer. Even in the modern age, it can be fun and useful. It's essentially a mechanism for quickly multiplying or dividing numbers, and it takes about 5 minutes to learn, maybe 15 minutes to master. Once you do, you'll put your friends and their iPhones to shame while calculating the tip at a local restaurant. Moreover, this one has a number of concentric scales, starting with the Ray-Haught style slope of the circular slide rule. Moving inboard, you can see that the inner calibrations of the slide rule are in black. Then you have another track of silver with applied and beautiful leaf-shaped indices. This is an unusual treatment for a Breitling dial, as this index shape is anything but ubiquitous. It's quite singular, and I can only recall seeing it on this specific model. Now you can see they're partially cantilevered, superimposed over a black center dial, and then inboard the tri-registers and the red calibrated center. The hands at center, elegant leaf style with a lancet style counterweighted chronograph seconds hand. The watch is nicely layered from the outside to the inside of the dial, both in color and in depth. The change of plane and the depth effect of this dial is dramatic. There is a discrete date window at 4:30. The watch is powered by what Breitling dubs the Caliber 41. It's an ETA 2892A2 with a vertical clutch chronograph module, and thanks to that vertical clutch system, there's no jump to the chronograph seconds hand when you start it. The watch winds in both directions, so there's no rotor wobble like you would get on a Valjoux 7750 unidirectional winding system. It features both stop seconds, so you can pull the crown and halt the balance to synchronize to a reference time, and a quick set, so you can rapidly cycle the date should the watch run down or encounter an irregular length month. As with most Breitling watches, the case back is solid but nicely executed, attesting to the brand name, model family, as well as the chronometer status of the caliber inside this watch. So while it is simple and modular, it's also a COSC certified Swiss chronometer and quite precise in that regard. This is a watch for aviators, not necessarily seaplane pilots though, because it has 30-meter water resistance. You have other Breitling options for the times when you have to splash down. You can see and you can own this 38mm traditionally sized, richly styled Breitling Montbrillant Chronograph on our website.